Wow, can y'all believe that? As of recording this video, as of today, March 15th, 2024, it has been officially 10 years of the Monsterverse. Pretty crazy, isn't it? This thing's been going on forever, as it seems, and it's actually the same movie that introduced me to Godzilla and why I love it so much today. So, I think in honor of Godzilla 2014 turning 10 years old, let's take a look at something I should have taken a look at a really long time ago. And just a few more things before I actually start this review. Thank you for 4 years of Omega. As some of you don't know, May 17th is the first time I uploaded a review on this channel back in 2020, so thank you. Let's get on with this. Hello everyone, my name is Omega the Real, or maybe if you want to keep it short and simple, and today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Monsterarts 2014 Godzilla SpitFire edition. Let's get into it. Now, seeing that the film has been out for roughly 10 years or so, it's definitely proved itself as a stepping stone in the Godzilla universe, or film franchise, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely a standout compared to other films, and I think that's the main reason why it's continued the American films to this day. But we're not going to be talking about the movie so far, as we're going to be talking about the Godzilla, so let's talk about sculpt in detail. Now, sculpt and detail on this guy is absolutely incredible. When it comes to Yuji Sakai, this guy is the dick and balls of the Godzilla sculpting community, and Jesus Christ, he does not hold back here. And hell, even Godzilla's Grundle looks really good, and I feel like looking at this for more than 5 seconds is a crime. I don't think I've ever complained about an SH Monsterarts figure not having enough detail, because this guy is absolutely filled with it. And everything is so accurate, you wish it was just like it came off the screen. Until it's not. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know the story how Monsterarts didn't have the actual 3D files on hand and had to go off concept art, but wow, that is violently different than what we actually got. So in theory, even if it's sculpted well, can I still complain about it not being as accurate to the movie as it is? Yeah, I can. Why is it blurry? Like, come on, man. When you have a $20 American company beating you out on accuracy over an $85 import figure, there's gotta be somewhere you have to be like, it's a little weird, right? I do understand that they didn't actually have the files on hand while they were making this, and there are deadlines you have to meet when designing these kind of things, so it's understandable. It's not something to hate or dock points off of, but it's disappointing to say the least. I can't stay mad at SH Monsterarts for too long when 5 years later they finally redeemed themselves with what is still the best Monsterarts has ever released to this date, that I own. Still, even being an older figure, almost 9 years old at this point, the sculpt still holds up really damn well when compared to modern day stuff. But how does that paint hold up? Now, obviously everyone bought this for paint, so you're gonna know the answer to this. The paint holds up incredibly well. Because paint on Godzilla here is absolutely fantastic, and the SpitFire edition of this mold makes that even more so. Obviously, you're going to always be drawn to these blue, highly vibrant spines on the back of him, because god damn, Monsterarts, this is some fine work, except when it's a little lacking. They do start to get dull around the end of the tail, become a sort of greenish color. I know the green background doesn't help, but you can actually see it on camera. But you're mainly going to be looking at the main part of his spines, and yeah, you know what? The sculpt doesn't make me that angry when you have spines that look as good as this under this kind of lighting. And the even best part about this paint application is that these are transparent. Oh, they're transparent. It just looks incredible, man. From any angle you have, it just... this guy looks insane. But the one question everyone's going to be asking about the figures and most Monsterarts in general, how is that face? And honestly, the face on SpitFire Goji here is not that bad. He's almost looking straight on, but this eye kind of leans down more so than the other one. But he doesn't even look that bad. And his gums and teeth are actually well painted as well. I know some issues with this copy were that these gums and the teeth weren't as well done as they should have been on like the original release, and god, that is ugly. But this guy here genuinely looks good, and just taking a look at that sculpt again, god, Zilla, damn, that's some fine work. But sculpt and paint on an SH Monsterarts figure is just half the battle. So how is the articulation? Absolutely wicked. Let's talk about that. Now let's take a look at his articulation. So his head actually is pretty well done. He's on a few ball joints here, but moving them around, they do get kind of gappy, but you can move the ball joints as you wish and you can fix that. And the one thing I do really like about this is how you can actually move these joints specifically so that they don't look as unnatural as they would if they hadn't done that. So the engineering is also quite smart as well. And he also does have an opening mouth and a tongue that moves, and I don't have anything to move it right now, so just trust me, that tongue moves. And the arms as well are decently articulated. They're a little tight, but I don't really mess with this thing that much, so maybe that's why. And if you own 2019 or 2024 or 2021, you understand how these arms work. They're actually a little more limited than those releases, but I still think they're really good looking. And his midsection and waist are also pretty good too, because they engineered a way to have these spines look slightly natural. I think they should have been sculpted up more, but it's fine. And can give you a pretty deep crunch on this guy. Like, seriously, that's more than a few Godzillas ever can get. And you get this guy normally, so it's a pretty damn good crunch. And he does have some waist articulation, but I wouldn't force it. I don't know how sturdy this plastic is. And coming back to this horrid region again, he's actually got some pretty good movement in the legs. You can actually go all the way around with these ones, unlike a few other Godzillas, and he's got some pretty tight joints all around here at the ankles and the knees and the calf swivel. This doesn't exist in nature, does it? But you guys all want to see the tail. Oh, good God, that tail. This thing is absolutely fantastic. You can get some really good S-curves. Jesus, almost too good of an S-curve. And that's thanks to all these ball joints. I'm pretty sure there's more than 20 in this tail. So let me just back out a bit so you guys can look better. And there's just a ton of range of posability and movement you can get on this. And that sound, it's like ASMR to me. I love this thing. The articulation is absolutely incredible, especially on Mr. Godzilla here. Even though most people hated this thing, I think it's pretty lovely. Now, I'm pretty sure you're tired of me hearing about Godzilla specifically, so how good are these accessories? Let's find out. Of course, being a SpitFire version of Godzilla, you have to include the SpitFire effect, and that here is the atomic breath piece. And of course, with everything put together, he looks pretty damn good with it. It's got this sort of teal coloring to it, which looks a little off when it's not in bright lighting such as this. But with the amount of silver on here, I think it looks fine enough as it is. And since this guy doesn't have a mouthpiece, it has a stand that he comes with that has the movie's logo and some red coloring on it, which is pretty cool. And if you've been paying attention to my channel at all, you've probably noticed this in a lot of my videos. I use it because it's so reliable and I think it's really cool, so if you have paid attention, good job. You're a low supporter, I guess, and shout out to you. And that's not all this guy came with, because what he also came with was the closest thing we were ever going to get to an SH Monsterarts Muto figure. A severed head. Let's go put it on him. Now this is a pretty simple process to do. Because his hands are on a ball joint system, they're easily able to be popped off, and in theory you can put the 2021 hands on here. But if you're able to have the head on hand, you just pop it on. I didn't hear a pop, but you're supposed to hear a pop, I think, and it just goes on, and once it's on, it looks pretty cool with it. And it's definitely a really cool accessory to come with this guy. Considering this is based off the final battle of the movie and such, I think it works perfectly. And honestly, if you want to make a 2014 set piece, putting this in the middle of it looks absolutely amazing. And I have heard reports that this thing did break off when people first got it in hand, so be careful with this if you eventually get this thing too, because I do hear it's pretty fragile, but I haven't had any problems, so just be careful when you're doing that, alright? Overall, everything including this guy is absolutely fantastic, so how does he hold up against size comparisons with other Godzillas? Let's find out. So here he is next to his next of kin, the SH Monsterarts 2019 King of the Monsters Godzilla, and man, these two things together look Oh, they look so good. But next up, the SH Monsterarts 2024 Godzilla Kong, the new Empire Godzilla, not pink version. And despite being translucent plastic, how does he have less brightness than this friggin' fake fraud over here? You'll love it though. And that's really all the comparisons I wanted to make. Fuck you. So, overall, final thoughts. Absolutely love this thing. Despite being not that accurate to the movie as it should be, I still am really impressed by SpitFire Goji here. Because despite not delivering on accuracy as it should have, he definitely killed it in every other area as well. And I'm glad to say that I can overlook accuracy when the rest of this figure looks this damn good. And I'm really happy to say Monsterarts listened to their fans and got better with every single release, depending on who you ask. So overall, SH Monsterarts 2014 Godzilla SpitFire version is absolutely a figure I recommend if you can find them at non-aftermarket prices. Jesus Christ, that is crazy. I'm trying to wrap this up quick so I don't waste more of your time. Happy 10 years to Godzilla 2014. It was my first Godzilla film that got me really into this franchise, and I understand why now. And it's definitely aged better or worse for some people, but it's still a classic, and I'm still gonna love it with all of my heart. And with Godzilla Kong the New Empire being already fantastic as it is, and with a sequel already greenlit, I only see nothing but positivity for the Monsterverse so far, and I'm really glad to see that. So, to finish this up, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you actually enjoyed this review. I'm trying to make one at least once a month. The shorts are going to come out like crazy, but these reviews I'm going to take more time between to think about, so yeah, that's going to be a little different. But, again, thank you all for watching. Happy 10 years to the Monsterverse, and thank you for 4 years of allowing me to do this YouTube channel. It wouldn't be possible without the support of all you guys and showing me that it's actually worth it in the end, because the growth we've seen on this channel is, I'm really glad to see it. And I'm gonna keep this short. I'm glad to see it. I'm happy to see it. And I just hope to go up from here. That'll be all for this review. My name is Omega, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.